Hi, welcome to Gentle Yoga with Megan. So happy that you have carved out a little time to practice some gentle yoga with me today. We're going to take things nice and slow. This is a practice that is really good for any levels of yoga experience. I'm going to try to break down each pose and just try to hold the poses for maybe 3 breaths is a good goal, but listen to your body, see where you're at today. If that's not within your practice, that's totally fine. If you just want to focus on the breath work, that's totally fine too. Feel free to, if you have any blocks handy or maybe even some books at home, grab a few blocks, put them next to your mat. I will be offering modifications throughout the class to help everyone feel comfortable and meet the poses where they are at physically today. Let's begin. We'll take a moment to just ground ourselves. So I want you to find a comfortable seated position. I'm elevating my hips with a block. You can also sit on a blanket or a thick beach towel. Elevating your hips over your knees can really help you feel comfortable in a cross-legged position, or if it's easier for you to just extend the legs out today, feel free to do so. I'd like you to just close your eyes. You can let your hands fall heavy on your lap, maybe palms face down. Really helps to feel grounded, or palms face up if you are looking for a little bit more of an uplifting feeling. And as you get settled in, I want you to simply notice your breath. You don't have to change the breath. Just see where you are at in this moment. Completely focusing on your inhalations and exhalations. Notice how it feels to be connected to your mat, maybe via a block or a blanket. Ultimately connected to the earth. And let that feeling ground you. Notice exactly what parts of the body are connected to your mat. Go ahead and do a mental body scan from the top of your head to your toes, noticing any spots that might be holding on to tension or discomfort. Feel free to send those spots in the body a little love, holding them with patience, confident they will give up that tension in their own time. As you begin to feel settled in a bit, feel free to make any adjustments to your breath. Perhaps deepening your breath or Slowing your breath down a bit, extending your exhalations. Relax your jaw. On your next exhale, release any tension in the shoulders. In the hips, knees. Relax your toes. Take a moment to check in with your mind, noticing any thoughts, feelings, emotions, images, self-talk you might be bringing to your practice without judgment. Just again, seeing where you're at. Great way to sweep away negativity is to really cultivate gratitude. So take this time to think of 3 things you're feeling grateful for in this moment, even if it's just the smallest of things. Let that gratitude perhaps lead you in an intention for our practice or beyond. Anything you would like to focus on or attract. Anything you connect with this morning, perhaps repeating to yourself, I am grateful. Or I am accepting. I am strong. Again, anything you need in this moment. Placing your hands together at your heart center. Take a nice breath in and out through your nose. And then placing one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly. We'll begin with some 3-part breathing. Sitting up nice and tall, relaxed shoulders. Feel free to switch whichever leg is in front to keep the body balanced. We'll be breathing in and out through our nose, a few rounds of 3-part breath. Inhaling in through your nose. Fill your belly with air. Feel your belly press against your hand as it fills. And then begin to fill your ribs. Feel your rib cage expand all the way around your body. Finally, feel your chest lift. And then we'll exhale slowly in reverse. First the chest, ribs, and the belly button pulls in towards the spine, fully exhaling any stale air trapped in the bottom of the lungs from shallow breathing. Again, nice slow inhalation in through the nose, into the belly. Feel it press against your hand. And then the ribs. Finally, fill your chest. Exhale, chest, ribs. Belly pulls in. And then one more at your own pace, as if you're filling a glass from the bottom to the top on the inhale. And emptying it from the top to the bottom on the exhale end, with your belly pulling in towards the spine, fully exhaling. Release your hands to your lap. As you begin to normalize your breath, do another mental body scan from the top of your head to your toes. you feel after a few deep oxygenating breaths. When you're ready, if they're not already open, go ahead and open your eyes. And we'll begin to warm up the body a little. Feel free to remove anything you're sitting on. I'm going to sit so you can see what my body's doing from the side. We're going to extend the legs out, toes pointing up towards the ceiling or the sky, palms face down, connected to your mat. Maybe your elbows are slightly bent, maybe you're on your fingertips, but you want to connect with the mat. Coming into Dandasana, staff pose, sitting up nice and tall, toes are relaxed. Notice the parts of the body connected with the mat. It's a really great grounding pose. Really great to find in times of chaos or stress. Take a nice inhalation and exhalation here. And then we're going to inhale the arms up overhead. Fingertips pointing straight up, relaxed toes, soft knees, and we're going to hinge from the hips, reaching forward, hinging. When you can't comfortably hinge any further, release your hands wherever they land on your legs, maybe your feet, maybe your number twos are able to hook your big toes. And then we're going to release the shoulders, neck, and head. Again, remembering to keep the knees soft here. Beautiful stretch up the backs of the legs. Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. Let's take 3 breaths here. Really releasing into the pose. Feeling that stretch. Notice yourself maybe coming a little bit deeper with each exhalation, even if it's the slightest bit. And then to come out safely, first look at your feet. And then power up using your core, protecting your low back. Beautiful. All right. Come into a nice easy pose, cross-legged. If you have blocks nearby, you can always place blocks under your knees for a little extra support if that feels better. And we're going to inhale the arms up overhead. Let's place all the fingertips just lightly touching overhead. Hakini Mudra. You're connecting both sides of the body here, said to increase brain power as well. Inhale, exhale, release your hands down to your sides. Let's place the fingertips in front of the legs, sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, exhale, walk your hands forward, coming into a seated fold. And then releasing the head. Take a few breaths here. Relaxed shoulders, relaxed neck and head. Continuing to focus on your breath, and then looking back up at your hands, slowly walk the fingers back towards the legs, sitting up nice and tall. Let's again switch whichever leg is in front. Inhale up to Hakini Mudra, lightly touching all the fingertips overhead. Bringing together logic, intuition, your masculine and feminine sides, in addition to left and right. Inhale, exhale, release your hands down at your sides. Place your fingertips in front of your legs, sit up tall. Inhale, exhale, walk the hands forward. And then releasing the shoulders, neck, and head. We'll take a couple breaths here. Looking up at your hands, walk your hands back towards your body. Again, sitting up nice and tall. Beautiful. All right, let's do a few twists. Twists are really great for digestion. So we're going to inhale the left arm up, straight up towards the ceiling or the sky. Exhale it across the body onto your right knee. Inhale the right arm up. On the exhale, place your right hand behind you, looking over your right shoulder, coming into your twist. Let your breath lead you a little deeper here. You're looking over your shoulder. Feel yourself twist just a little deeper with each exhale. Really sink into the twist. And then we'll inhale the right arm up from behind us, reaching straight up. Exhale it across your body. Arms are like an X. Beautiful. Preparing for eagle arms. Really great shoulder stretch. We're going to bring the palms up and in towards each other. Fingertips pointing up towards the ceiling. You can place the backs of your hands together if that's a little bit easier on your shoulders. We hold a lot of tightness in our shoulders and our back, or even just your hands on your shoulders, and you can gently rock it out. If you can come into a full eagle arms, maybe try lifting your elbows up to shoulder height. Really deepen that stretch. Breathe into the shoulders. Inhale, exhale, release your fingertips down at your sides into a low V. And then we're going to inhale the right arm up, exhale across the body onto the left knee. Inhale the left arm up, and on the exhale, place your left hand behind you, looking over your left shoulder. 3 breaths looking over the left shoulder. Sinking into the twist. Try to keep your chin parallel with your shoulder. And then inhaling the left arm up from behind. Exhale across your body onto the opposite knee. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. And preparing for eagle arms on the other side. Fingertips, again, pointing up, or maybe the backs of the hands are touching, or maybe you have just hands on opposite shoulders, rocking it out. Send some love to your shoulders. Keep breathing. If you tried lifting your elbows up to shoulder height on the first side, go ahead and try it on this side as well. Relax your shoulders. Another inhale and exhale, releasing your hands down at your side into a low V. Go ahead and wiggle your fingers. Inhale up to a high V, reaching up. If it's within your practice to maybe inhale, looking up. Exhale, releasing the chin to the chest, giving your neck a nice stretch. You can continue with some slow yeses at your own pace. Releasing tension in the neck, focusing your breath into your neck. And then coming back up to a soft gaze straight ahead. Release your hands down to your sides. And let's come on to hands and knees for some cow-cat spinal stretching. Again, I'm going to face myself so I'm parallel to the camera and you can really see what I'm doing. You want to take a moment here to really stack your joints. So you want your wrists directly under your shoulders, your knees directly under your hips. Come first into a nice neutral back, neutral spine, also known as neutral table. And take a breath here. Again, feeling that connection to the mat, connection to the earth, letting it ground you. And then we're going to inhale. The tailbone lifts, belly hangs, the chest presses through the shoulders as the neck and the head lift. Coming into cow pose. Really release your low back here. Let's stay for a moment. On your next natural exhale, begin to tuck your tailbone, round your back like a cat, releasing the neck and head, pressing into your mat and looking through your legs. Cat pose. Again, stay here for a moment, really stretching the muscles in the back. And then we'll begin to make the movements a little bit more fluid. Inhale, the tailbone lifts, belly hangs, neck lifts, head lifts. Exhale right into your cat. Tuck your tailbone, round your back, release your neck and head. Again, inhale, tailbone lifts, belly hangs, neck lifts, head lifts. Optional cow push-up here. If you'd like to drop your forehead down to the mat, work on strengthening the arms. And then exhale, tuck your tailbone, round your back, release the neck and head, and we'll press all the way back to child's pose. So your knees are going to come out to the sides. Big toes are maybe touching, maybe pointing towards each other. Find what works for you in child's. Really the secret is you want to find a comfortable resting position, and that's different for everyone. So I like to offer lots of different modifications. You can keep your arms extended, forehead down on the mat. Maybe your hands are back by your feet. Maybe you're using a block under your forehead to find a more comfortable position, or under your seat. You got 3 different levels of the block. Some people find it comfortable to roll up a towel or a blanket and put it behind their knees. The secret here is you really want to take a moment to rest, digest, and heal. So let's focus the breath on each exhale. Really release your belly, release your abdomen, and sink into child's Balasana. Feel free to revisit your intention from the beginning of our practice, reminding yourself of your goal. When you're ready, come back to your neutral table, again, stacking the joints. We're going to prepare for downward facing dog. A great modification to a traditional down dog is a half dog or puppy pose. In a half dog, your forearms are parallel on the mat. Hips are over the knees. The forehead drops down to the mat as your hips lift up and back. You could also extend your arms forward, floating the forehead off of the mat. Great modification. A more traditional down dog, you're going to curl your toes under from that neutral tabletop. Inhale. On the exhale, the hips lift up and back. Your heels are making their way towards the mat, but I don't want you to worry about that today. I want you to focus on lengthening your spine. Lift up and back with the hips. Press into the mat with your knuckles. Try to get rid of any wrinkles in your wrists. Inhale and exhale here, down dog. Go ahead and take your dog for a walk if that feels good. Bending one knee at a time. Really linking your breath. Bending each knee. Now from here, we're going to either walk the feet up to the hands or come any way that's comfortable into a standing forward fold, Uttanasana. You want to keep your knees soft here. Your feet are hip width apart. And we're just going to drop in and hang out. Release the low back. You can grab your opposite elbows, framing your face. You can bend your knees, wrapping your arms behind the backs of the knees, hugging your torso to your thighs, or just let the arms release down towards the mat. Keep your neck nice and comfortable. Maybe do some slow nose with your neck. Inhale and exhale here. Really feel that stretch up the backs of the legs. And then bend your knees. I want you to come up safely. Hands on your hips. We're going to power up using the legs and the core. Coming all the way up to a mountain pose. So mountain pose seems like such a simple pose. It's a really powerful pose. It's a really great grounding pose. The secret here, we want hips over knees, knees over ankles. Relax your shoulders. Palms are facing forward. Visualize that invisible string from the top of your head to the ceiling. Really lengthening your spine. Feel free to close your eyes here. Relax your toes here. Find a spot where you're feeling steady and at ease. Send your breath all the way down your body, down your legs, into your feet as you slowly exhale. Beautiful. All right. Open your eyes. Feel free to shake it out a little bit. Give your body what you need. Maybe roll out your toes. Shake it out. I want you to find the joy in your practice today. We're not going to worry about being perfect. We're not going to worry about anyone else around us. This is your practice. This is your time to just find the joy in movement and in breath. One of my favorite sequences in yoga, especially gentle yoga, is the Moon Salutation. Moon Salutation is linking several different yoga poses together into a nice flow. It's said to increase creativity. It's said to be extra beneficial if you're practicing near water. You've got water right here with me, Owasco Lake. And it's really beneficial to do in the weeks during a full moon time. Moon energy is said to be powerful 3 days before a full moon and 3 days after. So if your calendar happens to have a full moon scheduled for this week, even better. But it's a really great beneficial practice either way. So we're just going to take it nice and slow. You can keep some blocks near you. There's a triangle pose within our flow. So if you'd like to reach down for a block to help you feel more comfortable in triangle, feel free to do so, and I will offer that along the way. All right, so let's stand. Feet hip-width apart in your mountain pose for a breath. Beautiful. And then place your hands at your heart center. We're going to inhale the arms up overhead, clasping your hands, pointing your fingers. I'm going to take a step back so you can see my body a little bit more. Let me just move my mat back as well. All right. Hands are clasped, fingers pointing up towards the sky or the ceiling. Inhale, up. Exhale, crescent moon over to the left. Feel that nice side body stretch. Inhale to center. Exhale, crescent moon to the other side. Inhale back to center. Step your feet shoulder width apart or wider, depending where you're at. And let's come into a star pose, 5-point pose. Your all 10 toes are pointing towards the long edge of your mat. You're reaching in opposite directions with your fingers. Wiggle your fingers if you want. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Inhale and exhale here, star pose. Preparing for goddess. We're going to angle our toes to the outside edges of our mat. Cactusing the arms, so the elbows are coming straight off the shoulders, fingertips pointing up. Inhale here, exhale, bend your knees, goddess pose. Wake up those legs, activating the muscles of the legs. Take a nice breath here. Inhale, come back to your star pose, all 10 toes pointing towards the long edge of the mat. And then with your right foot, point it towards the short edge of your mat. Your left foot is going to be angled slightly, maybe at a 45-degree angle, but listen to your knee joint. feel how your knee is feeling, what your knee is telling you, and move your foot placement accordingly. Arms are going to be parallel with the mat. We're preparing for a triangle pose. I want you to shift the weight into your left hip. We're going to reach straight forward with the right arm and then release the arm down to the right leg. You can hold on to your leg. You can place the back of your right hand against your leg. You can grab a block, placing it in the inside of your right foot. The left arm can be straight up overhead. Maybe your hand is on your hip. You want to try to keep your heart and chest open. Triangle. Look down at the right foot. Straight ahead. Maybe up overhead at the left hand, depending where you're at. Inhale and exhale here. Triangle. All right. Now we're going to bend the right knee so it's directly over the right ankle. The right forearm is going to come onto the right thigh. Palm facing up. Inhale the left arm up and towards that short edge of your mat. Inhale and exhale here, side angle stretch. Feel that beautiful stretch in the left side of the body. Inhale and exhale here. All right. Now, the next pose is going to be your choice. You can look down at your right foot, placing one hand on either side of the right foot while pivoting onto the ball of the left foot in the back, coming into a low lunge. Or if it's more comfortable for you today to come into a high lunge, maybe your fingertips are pointing up, maybe your hands are on your hips, totally your choice. Inhale and exhale here. Now we're going to step forward with the back leg, the left leg, step forward to meet the right, and then step back with the opposite leg, the right leg, coming into that same lunge, your choice, on the other side. Inhale and exhale here. Maybe you're in your high lunge. All right, now we're going to transition into that side angle stretch that we just did, only on the other side. So keep your left knee bent over your left ankle. Your right foot is going to be planted on the mat, possibly angled. Left forearm now is on the left thigh. Inhale up and overhead with the right arm. Side angle stretch. Easy transition into triangle here. You're just going to straighten your left leg, release your left arm down to meet it. Right arm can come up overhead. Maybe your hand is on your hip. Triangle on the other side. Nice windmill. Inhale the right arm up, over. You're coming back to your star pose. I'm going to face you. Stay where you're at. So you're in your star pose. Beautiful. Preparing for goddess. Angle your toes to the outside edges of the mat. Cactus your arms. Inhale. Exhale back to goddess. Maybe find yourself coming a little deeper. Inhale and exhale here. On your next inhale, come to star pose. All 10 toes pointing towards the long edge of your mat, reaching in opposite directions. Relaxed shoulders. Your choice, you can step your feet hip width apart or maybe heel toe your feet in. Coming into a quick mountain. Inhale, exhale here. Before sweeping the arms back up overhead, clasping your hands, we're gonna inhale, exhale, crescent moon to the right. Inhale to center, exhale, crescent moon to the left. Inhale, center, exhale, your hands to your heart. Awesome job, awesome job. Feel free to stop the video, rewind it, do as many moon salutations as feels good today, or you can just end it with me at the one moon salutation. All right, let's come down onto our mats. We're going to be on our stomachs. Advasana. And I want you to just take a quick rest, grabbing your opposite elbows, forehead on your forearms. Relax your legs. You can engage your legs here if you like. You can press your thighs into the mat or just take a little rest. Inhale and exhale here. On your next inhale, lift your head. We're going to prepare for Sphinx pose. Nice mild back bend. You want your elbows directly under your shoulders. Your forearms are parallel. Your chest is lifted towards the front of your mat, crown of the head pointing up, like the great Sphinx of Giza. Inhale and exhale here. Relax your shoulders. You don't want your shoulders up by your ears. Nice open heart, open chest. Nice mild back bend. If this is a little intense on your low back, go ahead and slide your fingers forward, lowering yourself down a little bit. Modify your Sphinx. From here, we're going to press back to a child's pose. Again, finding what works for you. Play around with it. Inhale, rolling up onto your knees. Swing your legs in front. Preparing for a boat pose. Really great to strengthen the core. Your feet are planted. Knees are pointing up towards the ceiling or towards the sky, depending where you're practicing. And we can modify boat in a lot of different ways too. Have some fun with it. Again, find the joy in your practice. You can start with your hands slightly behind your seat, fingertips pointing towards your feet. And then lift your right shin so it's parallel with the ceiling. And then if it's within your practice, your left shin, your big toes can touch. Maybe you just want to alternate which leg is up. Maybe it's within your practice for the big toes to touch and the fingertips to point forward. Everything's coming from the core here. Engage your core, protect your low back. A strong core is going to equal a healthy back. Inhale and exhale here. Maybe you want to do a little kayaking. Get a little side core work. You can row your boat. You can come into a sailboat. Any kind of boat you want to be. Play around with it. And then we're going to transition slowly down to the mat, onto your back. Take a nice breath here. Let your feet release to the sides. One last pose. Let's plant our feet on the mat, knees pointing up, arms along the sides of the body, preparing for bridge pose. We're going to inhale, press into the feet, lift the hips, belly button up. Shoulders, neck, and head are going to stay on the mat. You can slide a block under your low back here for a modification. You can roll your shoulder blades in towards each other, clasping your hands. That's going to give you a little bit more leverage. Pretend you're holding onto an invisible beach ball with your knees. Maybe you have your block between your knees. Great inversion. You're bringing blood to your brain. You're taking some stress off your heart. See if you can hold it for 3 breaths. When you're ready, release your hands underneath you. Roll down one vertebra at a time, releasing your low back completely down to the mat. Feel free to bring your knees into your chest for a squeeze, maybe even rocking side to side, massaging out the low back. And then releasing your legs. Extend your legs down to the mat, arms along the sides of the body. Preparing for deep relaxation. Let your feet release to the sides. Feel free to stay here as long as your time allows. I wish I could stay here for 10 minutes with you all. When you're ready to wake yourselves up, simply wiggle your fingers and your toes. Draw attention back to the breath. Take your time coming back up to a comfortable seated position, perhaps rolling onto your side first, and then gently pressing up. Placing your hands together at your heart center. Remind yourself of your intention from the beginning of our practice one last time. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. I'm Megan Vitale. Namaste.